embracing change through the whispers of time. There is one thing that always exists as an essential part of each of our lives, and that is change. Change does not discriminate against anyone, does not care whether we are ready or not. It comes like the passing breeze, sometimes gentle, sometimes like a great storm. Have you ever thought that those changes are actually time's way of whispering into our lives, forcing us to face them and grow? Change can bring challenges, make us hesitant, but sometimes from those challenges, precious opportunities appear. It can be an opportunity to become a better version of ourselves, to discover abilities we never thought we had. Change can be the end of a chapter in life, but it is also the beginning of a new, meaningful journey. But the real question is, how will we react when change comes? Will we avoid it, back away, or will we bravely embrace it and turn it into motivation to move forward? Life does not allow us to stand still, and change is the driving force that pushes us all forward. Every time change comes, we stand at a crossroads, and our choices are the key to opening the future. Life is like a river, always flowing forward. That river carries changes with it, sometimes imperceptible for us to notice. But history has shown us that those who embrace change have achieved great things. Does anyone still remember the story of Alexander Fleming? In 1928, Fleming accidentally discovered penicillin, the first antibiotic that saved millions of lives. That change began by accident, something unplanned. But instead of resisting, Fleming accepted reality and turned something ordinary into a miracle for medicine. This story began with what seemed like an ordinary accident. Fleming, while conducting his research, noticed a type of mold capable of inhibiting bacterial growth. If it had been someone else, perhaps this event would have been ignored. But Fleming had the curiosity and the ability to see potential in small things. This discovery changed the entire medical field, ushering humanity into a new era where dangerous diseases like pneumonia and infections could be treated. Think about the story of Abraham Lincoln. He failed in business, dropped out of college, and lost many elections. But Lincoln embraced change and used it as a stepping stone to move forward. As a result, he became one of the greatest presidents of the United States who transformed a nation and abolished slavery. Lincoln did not have an easy life. Born into a poor family, he had to work from a young age to make a living. Repeated failures in business and politics led many to think Lincoln could not succeed. But he did not give up. He understood that each failure was a lesson, each fall an opportunity to stand up stronger. When he became president, Lincoln faced a brutal civil war, but he remained steadfast in his goal of emancipating slaves, bringing freedom to millions. His persistence and willingness to embrace change made Lincoln a symbol of leadership and compassion. In human history, change often comes in times of fear, like when people faced pandemics, natural disasters, or major political and social upheavals. But that very fear is a challenge that, if embraced, can lead us further. For instance, the Industrial Revolution in the 18th, 19th centuries. Initially, the emergence of machinery and factories caused anxiety for many manual laborers. They feared their jobs would be replaced, their lives disrupted. But from this change, the world stepped into a new era of production and economic growth. Those who adapted and learned found new opportunities, new careers, and contributed to societal progress. Take another example from the life of Malala Yousafzai. Malala grew up in a society where girls were deprived of the right to education, and change for her came only through courage. When threatened and attacked for standing up for girls' right to education, Malala did not give up. Instead, she continued her struggle, turning fear and challenges into strength to stand up and speak for millions of girls around the world. She became a symbol of the fight for equality in education and the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Another notable story is the life of Nelson Mandela. He endured 27 years in prison for fighting against the apartheid regime in South Africa. The long years in prison did not break his spirit. On the contrary, they transformed him into a patient and wise leader. Upon his release, Mandela did not choose the path of revenge, but chose reconciliation and national unity because he understood that only a change in thinking and behavior could bring true peace and freedom for everyone. Mandela's life is a powerful testament to embracing change and turning it into a strength to build a better future. Embracing change is about recognizing when the river of life is flowing fast and, instead of resisting, choosing to step with it. But did you know that sometimes embracing change means letting go of what we hold dear? Like Martin Luther King, Jr., when he started the civil rights movement for African Americans, he not only let go of personal comfort, but also committed his entire life and beliefs to bring about societal change. Martin Luther King, Jr., was not only a leader, but also a symbol of positive change. He faced threats and violence, but remained steadfast on the path of nonviolent resistance. King understood that to change society, one must first change the mindset of each individual. He called on people not only to fight for their rights, but also to love and understand others, even those who had inflicted suffering upon them. His movement not only changed the laws, but also touched the hearts and minds of millions, helping the United States progress toward a more just and equal society. In our personal lives, we often face both big and small changes. Sometimes it is moving to a new place, changing jobs, or starting a new relationship. These changes can bring anxiety, but they are also opportunities for us to learn and grow. A prime example is the story of Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple. After being fired from the very company he founded, Jobs did not give up, but continued to pursue his passion for innovation. He founded Next and bought Pixar, turning it into one of the most successful animation studios in the world. He then returned to Apple, transforming it into one of the largest technology companies globally. Jobs embraced change, learned from failure, and never stopped innovating, leaving an indelible mark on technology history. Think of the story of Nick Vujicic, a man born without limbs. For many, such a deficiency could mean the end of all dreams and ambitions. But Nick did not lose hope. Instead of blaming himself and retreating in the face of adversity, he chose to confront it and turn his life into a source of inspiration for millions. Nick Vujicic traveled around the world, sharing his story, inspiring those facing difficulties, and affirming that nothing is impossible if we dare to face it and change the way we perceive ourselves. Ultimately, life never stops changing, and we must be flexible and sharp to meet those challenges. Change can be frightening, but it is also a source of motivation that helps us grow and complete ourselves. Remember, change can be our greatest companion if we know how to welcome it. Sometimes, it is change that helps us find light when everything seems hopeless, pushing us forward when we are struggling with choices. Change is not just about big turning points. It is also about small, everyday things. It is about accepting to let go of old habits to embrace new experiences. It can come from deciding to wake up earlier each day to improve our health or learning to forgive ourselves and others. Every change, big or small, can have a positive impact, helping us grow stronger and more complete step by step. Let us learn to cherish change as it is the foundation of growth. If we remain confined to the familiar, we will never know how vast and fascinating the world outside truly is. Change allows us to meet new people, experience new cultures, and broaden our horizons. From that, we can truly understand the value of life and the meaning of personal development. Have you ever faced a major change in your life? It could be a failure, a loss, or a bold decision that required a lot of courage to make. Share your story in the comments, because your stories, whether small or grand, can become an inspiration for others facing challenges. Together, let us create a community where change is no longer feared, but becomes a source of inspiration, a chance to grow together. I really want to hear your perspective and your stories. Don't hesitate. Leave a comment. Let change guide us, and together we will become the best versions of ourselves.